what's up? It's Alexander Madison, running back for the Minnesota Vikings, and you're watching Clock Management.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us. It's September 27th, 2019. I'm Justin, and as always, I'm joined by Perry.
Hey man, how do you feel about raisins?
I mean, they're cool.
All right, well, let's go on a date then.
Nice. Make sure you guys catch our podcasts on YouTube. It's on Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. And also make sure you follow us on social media. We got our Twitter, which is right at the top, Management Clock. We got Instagram and Facebook, so get on all of those.
Yeah, do it.
And this is Clock Management. Perry, we're back with your giant whale painting over there. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
What you got going on over there?
This is the last night that we're house sitting for the in-laws. So just recording tonight, getting everything kind of cleaned up and straightened up for when they get home.
Try not to get hit by any of those falling trees.
Yeah, we just had a tree fall into the yard like 10 minutes ago. It's pretty windy and rainy here, but it didn't hit anything, so it's just cool.
Meanwhile, I'm like an hour away from you with clear blue skies.
Yeah. I don't know.
Washington.
It's that fall weather. You never know.
So I had I had the shockwave therapy this morning, so I'm on got some painkillers right now keeping me alive, and I'm dedicated to getting every possible treatment that the football players could get, so I know more about the recovery times.
That's dedication. That's
Yeah.
why you know that you're getting the best advice here at Clock Management.
So I'll let you guys know how this one turns out. PRP, I'm not down with it.
It's Friday, so
That's
we're gonna
true.
review some games that are coming up this weekend. We'll talk about the game that happened last night.
But more importantly, it's Friday, so you're having a beer.
I am having a beer. I'm having a Dead Guy Ale by Rogue Brewing. If you've never had it, I highly recommend it. In fact, I highly recommend Rogue Brewing in general. It's delicious beer. You're not having a beer though.
No, yeah, I'm taking the painkillers, and the doctors highly recommended that I did not drink. So I'm doing my best.
All right, that sounds fair. That sounds fair. That sounds fair.
But yeah, so back to the football though. So we're gonna be reviewing the Thursday night game.
Yes, we are.
And getting into a preview of the upcoming week 4 games. Yeah.
Yep. We'll get into that here shortly. We have some news to cover though, and then news nobody cares about, everybody's favorite. So let's jump right into the news. We got the big ticket item, the one we've all been waiting for months and months and months, and that's the fact that there's no Antonio Brown news today that I'm aware of. Right?
No,
Did we do it?
No, there is. I'm just not going to cover it.
Oh, okay, cool. No, I'm just kidding. The big news is that Melvin Gordon has returned to the Chargers. He is officially back with the team. The holdout has ended. Initially, they were saying that he would not be playing this week, but most recent report says that he could have a limited role in week 4. That I'm not playing Melvin Gordon this week, though. Let that be clear. If you own Melvin Gordon, congratulations.
Austin Eckler.
Yeah, congratulations. Like, it's going to probably work out for you. You only missed 3.5 games, I guess, so you can look at it that way.
And if you picked up Austin Eckler, it really worked out for you.
Yeah, let's hold off on starting him this week. We'll talk about Melvin Gordon going forward and what we should do with him next week. Austin Eckler obviously follows this news, right? We have to talk about him a little bit. What are you doing if you own Austin Eckler right now?
I'm starting him.
I mean, going forward.
I'm keeping him on my bench. Because I think you're not going to get a lot of value trying to trade him at this point. You want to play him this week because they have a great matchup, so you're not going to want to trade him before. Go ahead and take this victory he's going to give you.
Yeah.
And then hold on to him because, I mean, he's a solid handcuff.
He's probably the best handcuff in the NFL.
I'm going second best.
Oh, Alexander Madison. Yeah, can't forget our boy. I would say that I agree with you 95%. The only thing that I would do differently is I would try and trade him to the Melvin Gordon owner, because that person's going to have the highest value
Yeah.
on Austin Eckler. And if you can get somebody that you can plug into your lineup right away, right now, I would do that. I'd be
Yeah.
okay with that.
I agree with you. I didn't even
Yeah,
consider that because in the
yeah.
one league that I have Austin Eckler, I am the Melvin Gordon owner. So
I got to figure out who owns Austin Eckler in our dynasty league because I'm the Melvin Gordon owner in that league. But
man,
um, anyways, so there we go. That's our take on that. Let's move on here to some just more kind of standard news injury stuff. Traquan Smith, he is a wide receiver for the Saints. He is ruled out for week 4. He wasn't necessarily fantasy relevant except in deeper leagues. I will say, though, that this is probably a good thing for Michael Thomas and even Ted Ginn a little bit. But mostly Michael Thomas, right? I think that just means more targets for him going forward. It's the only reason that I really wanted to bring it up. Um, Vance McDonald has missed a second practice. He did not practice today. Basically, if somebody doesn't practice on Friday, unless it's like extenuating circumstances, I'm not considering that player for that week. I don't think Vance is starting this week. It doesn't really matter though, because you're probably dropping Vance McDonald, even if you were having a bye week or something like that,
yeah.
depending on what the tight end situation looks like in your league. But
Yeah, as we brought up before, they brought in another tight end, so
right, yeah, it doesn't look good. Justin Jackson, running back for the Chargers, kind of like the third guy on the totem pole now that Melvin Gordon's back. He could miss multiple weeks with this calf injury. Uh, he wasn't necessarily fantasy relevant except for like deep league dynasty stashes. But basically, this is good news for Melvin Gordon, and I think it keeps Austin Eckler even more relevant, right? It's Gordon and Eckler's going to get a lot of the passing down work. Even though Gordon's able to do that, Eckler's proven that he's very, very proficient at catching the ball. Um, Taylor Gabriel, wide receiver for the Falcons, had that explosive game last week or quarter where he caught 3 touchdowns in one quarter. He's ruled out for week 4. So if he was one of your waiver wire pickups where you were jumping on him because he had such a good week, I'm sorry to tell you that he will not be playing in week 4. I think I may have mentioned in the show that I'm not reaching out trying to grab Taylor Gabriel, but
yeah,
bummer for
I would
him.
hope so.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that still the only receiver I'm interested on that team is Allen Robinson.
Oh, did I say I said the Falcons? I'm sorry. Taylor Gabriel is with the Bears.
Oh yeah, I didn't even realize you said Falcons.
Oh, well, thanks for the correction. Devontae Adams, if you guys didn't watch the game last night, we'll be covering that here in just a moment. But he did leave the game late with a toe injury. It's told that it's turf toe, that it's not serious. I guess that's a good thing. He could be ready for next week. He's got kind of a long week to recover, which is great because he had that Thursday night game. He had a great game, though. I think everybody's happy with how that game turned out for Devontae Adams, and it's good news that this isn't serious. So,
Yeah, I'm still a little concerned on that because I mean, my understanding with the turf toe is like depending on the degree of it, it could still sideline him and lag in, throughout the
sure.
season even.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. I don't know. The fact that they're optimistic, and I mean the night or one day after they're like, "Don't worry about it, it's not that bad." That's a good thing. So we'll just have to monitor that situation. 3 more pieces of news here. Damiere Byrd has been ruled out against the Seahawks. He's a wide receiver for the Cardinals. He's been the number 3 wide receiver. He's been logging over 90% of the snaps with the team. He's going to miss week 4. The reason this is important is because I think this is really big for Christian Kirk and Larry Fitzgerald. I think they're both starts this week. Put them both in your lineup, and I think you're going to be happy with how they both turn out. I don't know how you feel about that. I know you really like Christian Kirk.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's great news for both of them. I don't know how that will shake out between them still, but yeah, it's it benefits both of those players.
Definitely. Let's see. Let's move on here
And
to
probably even David Johnson.
yeah, for sure. David Johnson. I mean, we can talk about David Johnson all you want, but I think a lot of people are disappointed so far with David Johnson because he hasn't blown up.
Yeah.
But he's been one of the most consistent top 10 running backs. He's been top 10 every week. So that big game's coming, and it could be this week against Seattle. So
Yeah, exactly. I think it's similar to the Dante Adams.
yeah, Devontae. Yeah,
Devontae,
definitely.
sorry, yeah, Devontae Adams situation where it's like he hadn't blown up yet. People are getting frustrated. He just blew up this week, and now everyone's like, "Oh, see, I told you he is going to be awesome."
Yeah,
You're going to get that same thing with David Johnson.
yeah. Uh, T.Y. Hilton is officially questionable for week 4 with a quad injury.
Yeah, I don't think he's playing this week.
Yeah, and he's a game time decision. And do we know what time they're playing?
I no, I didn't look at the time of the game, but from what I had heard about the injury, he it's a game time decision, but they're saying that they don't believe he's going to play.
Yeah, and I kind of agree. And it looks like it's a morning game on Sunday. I mean, if you want to wake up early and just double check if you're here on the West Coast, I don't know. You're kind of playing with fire there. I don't know if I'd start
'cause
T.Y. Hilton.
he may go in and then come out after the first quarter. So
Exactly.
I'm just not putting him in, whether he plays or not.
That's how I feel as well. And then last piece of news: Damian Williams, running back for the Chiefs, he's continued to not practice. It's not looking good. It's not looking good for Damian Williams or owners going forward. To be completely honest with you, I who do you want in that backfield? Probably Darrell Williams, I would guess.
Yeah. Oh man, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, LaShawn McCoy, I had a better week last week,
Yeah.
but he didn't. I mean, he didn't gain very many yards. He just found the end zone twice. So I guess maybe I still want LaShawn McCoy.
Yeah,
It's
I'm going
hard.
with McCoy.
Yeah.
I feel like they're gonna continue to give him the goal line touches because he is who he is, and they think he will not turn it over in those situations.
Yeah. The luxury that they have is they can just put more work onto Patrick Mahomes. Like
Yeah.
he's capable of that, and as unfair as it is, it's the truth.
Yeah,
So
the luxury they have is a quarterback made out of solid gold.
no kidding. But yeah, so that's all the news that I wanted to cover. What about some news that nobody cares about, Justin?
Oh man. Okay, I got a little bit of news no one cares about this week. It was a big week for news no one cares about.
Okay.
I'm gonna get us straight into some Tony Romo news. Tony Romo competes in a celebrity golf event, and he beat the pros. He's on track to make the cut for their tournament.
Yeah, Tony Romo's a very good golfer. That was
Yeah.
that was well known when he came into the
I
league.
know he's a great broadcaster. He's a great golfer. Now, if only he was a good football player.
Tony Romo, okay. Tony Romo was always a good football player. Good football player, okay?
Oh, I could not resist the opportunity to throw some Tony Romo shade though.
Give the guy a break, all right? Was he the one that missed up the hold in the playoffs
Oh, I don't remember.
against the Seahawks? I can't remember exactly either. But, okay, he didn't I wouldn't say he's the most clutch quarterback ever. I'll give you that much.
Yeah.
But Tony Romo was a good quarterback, all right?
He's no
man?
Eli Manning.
He is no Eli Manning, future Hall of Famer.
Next piece of news: Seahawks offensive coordinator says even his wife doesn't like his play calling.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, I'm like, why would he even say that?
Something that you're like, well, I'm not telling anybody that.
Right? People are like, we don't like your play calling. It's like, yeah, you or my wife. All right. Next, we got Rex Ryan says Baker Mayfield is very overrated. And Baker Mayfield fires back and says he doesn't care what Rex Ryan says. He doesn't have a team.
Yeah, I've been following this. I mean, I said it last episode. I think Baker Mayfield might be a little overrated as
Oh,
well.
I agree with it, but
Yeah,
of all
it's just
people to say
yeah.
to say that, Rex Ryan probably wasn't the person to, to be voicing that,
I know it's Rex Ryan being Rex Ryan.
right?
He wasn't enough in the spotlight. He had to find some.
Okay, next we got a Bills fan eats a beer. Yes, eats a beer. There's a video outside of a Bills game. This Bills fan pulls this beer out of a cooler and just bites through it like it's a crisp apple. It's I don't know why, but it's Bills Mafia, man.
Is he alive still?
I don't know. He looked like he's been doing it his whole life.
Oh my god.
Oh, man. And then that team in Washington, their flag waiver had a flag malfunction this last week where the flag like just slid down the pole, but he continued to try, just sitting out there waving a stick with the flag just all the way down hanging onto the field. Can anything go right for them?
No, I actually heard that Jay Gruden is on the hot seat if they don't win this week.
Oh, I
If they
know.
lose to the Giants, he's getting fired. I hope they lose to the Giants.
They should.
Yeah, we need a little less Gruden in this league.
Yeah, that's probably the one that is better out of the two, though.
No kidding. Not this year apparently.
Yeah, he should have signed Antonio Brown.
Yeah, there's a little more drama, right?
Right. Yeah. That's all the news I got for news no one cares about.
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good
Yeah.
one.
This is exciting.
Great.
I had too much time sitting at home today.
Yeah, surgery and all.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. I saw that you were on Twitter today.
Yeah. Yeah, I was.
Immediately post surgery.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have
They
to
all
put that picture. Or I posted a picture on there. I have another
Yeah.
picture that my wife actually took of me where I was still like out of it and didn't even realize that she was taking a picture.
Yeah, you sent that to me.
Yeah.
Your texts weren't very coherent, but all your tweets were surprisingly coherent.
I know. I saw that later. I'm like, man, I made less grammatical errors than normal.
Yeah. Oh man, that was funny. Okay, let's move on here. Let's talk about last night's game. We finally had a Thursday night game that was enjoyable to watch, both from a football fan's perspective and a fantasy perspective. There were a lot of relevant fantasy players here. Not all of them the ones you wanted, but hey man, it wasn't a dud finally on Thursday night. The Eagles actually won this one 34-27. They were in Green Bay. I think the Packers were actually favored to win this. So
Yeah, I picked the Packers to win this one.
the Packers early on moved the ball so easily. It looked like they were just going to completely roll over this Eagles team. But I mean, there were some turnovers. The Eagles just got really good field position a couple times. They scored like 4 touchdowns, 4 drives in a row.
I made some people upset on Twitter when I posted that now Aaron Rodgers knows how Russell Wilson feels.
I saw that. I saw that. That was pretty funny. If you didn't catch it, the game ended with an interception thrown by Aaron Rodgers in the end zone, but it bounced off one of his players. So it hit his player and then bounced into an Eagles player hands, and that's how they lost the game. So, which is very similar to
Yeah.
how the Seahawks lost the Super Bowl to the Patriots.
And the series before that, they were on the 1 yard line and just refused to run the ball.
They couldn't run the ball, which is going to be something.
But
that
they
we
didn't
talk
even
about.
attempt to on the
I know.
1 yard line. That blew my mind.
I know. At least do like a QB sneak. I think it's
Yeah,
guaranteed that he gets in.
Or just one attempt with your running back. They're like, they
Yeah.
can't run the ball. Well, obviously you couldn't throw it either because you tried 5 times in those 2 series.
Yeah. I don't know, man. All right, let's get into this game a little bit here. Carson
Yeah.
Wentz continues to look very strong. He only had 160 yards, but he had 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He also rushed the ball 6 times for 13 yards. Carson Wentz looks great, man. I think he's a top 7 quarterback going forward.
You think he's going to be the season MVP?
No.
Good.
There's a guy down there in Kansas City and another one in Dallas that would probably
beat him out for that. There's there's probably a few out there, but yeah, he looks good.
Talking about MVPs though, let's talk about the 3-touchdown Jordan Howard.
Oh my God. Why? Why 15 carries Jordan Howard?
I don't know. 50, dude, everybody was running the ball. Or at least both of these guys, Miles Sanders and Jordan Howard, got tons of yards.
Yeah,
Jordan Howard,
Miles Sanders looks so much better. Jordan Howard I saw him run into his own players a couple times, run into defenders where he could have made a cut and gained extra yards.
Yeah.
Just give Miles Sanders the ball.
Yeah. Jordan Howard, obviously 15 carries, like Justin said, 87 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. Here's the crazy part. Jordan Howard had 3 receptions for 28 yards and a touchdown, whereas Miles Sanders didn't have a single reception all night. That's what really worries me right there.
Yeah.
Is the thing that you could always say that Miles Sanders has over Jordan Howard is the ability to catch the ball. I don't know. I really don't know what to do going forward with this backfield.
But you know who else didn't have a reception?
Darren Sproles.
Yeah. It was completely backwards of how it should have been.
Yeah, it's weird. Obviously, if you started Jordan Howard, you're very happy. I think a lot of people didn't start Jordan Howard, especially if you were following our advice. But I mean, I think I did say I expect him to get a touchdown.
Yeah, we were talking. Well, we were talking about how he's going to get those goal line carries and he's going to vulture touchdowns all season long.
It's going to happen.
And he just did a really good job of doing that this week.
He still managed 87 yards, so he actually had a very good game.
Yeah,
it looked like Jordan Howard of like 4 years ago. When he was still in Chicago, but all right.
But on the receiving side, though, you got Alshon Jeffrey. He had 3 receptions for 38 yards. Kind of disappointing, but he had a touchdown, which kind of saved his night.
Well, when we covered Carson Wentz's stat line with only 160 yards, the receiving core it was disappointing altogether. But
Zach Ertz had 7 receptions for 65 yards. That's better. He didn't have the touchdown, but I mean that's great to see from your tight end, especially if you drafted Zach Ertz. That's what you've been looking for is 7 receptions.
Yeah, I think you're happy if you had Zach Ertz last night. Sorry, beer.
No problem.
Nelson Aguilar, though, that's the story of this receiving core. No receptions, no yards, no nothing.
That's what we were talking about, though. Shouldn't be a surprise with Alshon coming back. We told you watch out for that. It's gonna hurt him.
Yeah, I like Alshon going forward. Actually, I don't think the calf injury is slowing him down all that much.
Yeah, he looked good out there. He made some great catches. He dropped a couple where it would have been an amazing catch. I would have been shocked if he made it, but he almost did. But he is no Cooper Kupp, so. Just all season.
Let's move on to the Packers.
Okay. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers threw for 422 yards with 53 attempts.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think gone are the days that we can call Aaron Rodgers a flat out elite quarterback, at least fantasy wise.
It's painful to say, but
I
think you're right.
We sound crazy because he has 422 yards, 2 touchdowns, but
you're gonna see quarterbacks doing exactly. You're gonna see quarterbacks doing that. Last week Russell Wilson did that. You'll see quarterbacks, especially when they're losing, have crazy attempts like that.
If you drafted Aaron Rodgers in the 5th or 6th round, that's where he went. Is he an auto start for you still?
Man, I feel like you have to auto start him, but it doesn't feel good doing it when you're looking at the waiver wire and there's players getting similar amounts of points.
I will say the 3 teams that he played previous to this team, the Bears, the Vikings, the Broncos, all known for their defense, and rightly so. Their defense is very strong, so that could be part of why he's had such a bad start. But, I mean, you're happy with what you got last night, so... it worked out for you last night. He also rushed the ball 5 times for 46 yards. It's nice to see him running the ball a little bit more again. Aaron Jones, on the other hand, couldn't get anything done. This Eagles team shut down the run last night. 13 carries for 21 yards. He did get the touchdown, so it saved you there. It's pretty wild, man. Like they could not run the ball last night at all. Like you
Yeah,
mentioned, on the 1 yard line.
that touchdown really saved his stat line.
Yeah, it did. Receiving, finally, the redemption game here for Devontae Adams. 10 receptions for 180 yards. That's what we're talking about. That's actually a career high for him in yardage, 180.
Yeah. I don't know. I couldn't believe he didn't have a touchdown.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty surprising. But you know who did?
Jimmy Graham.
Jimmy Graham. I told you he would. I told you.
Yeah.
6 for 61 and a touchdown. And there could have been another touchdown there. As soon as Devontae Adams went out of the game, Jimmy Graham was the number one target. Like the number one target. He was I think they threw it to him 3 times in the end zone.
Yeah.
And he didn't get it either time. But
they weren't easy catches to his defense.
Yeah. Geronimo Allison, 3 receptions, 52 yards and a touchdown. A lot of that yardage came on one big play. It was an incredible catch, but a lot of that came on one big play. I think it was like a 32-yard catch or something like that. And then the following play was the touchdown. So he had one great series. So if you did start Geronimo Allison, you were saved by that series. Otherwise, pretty much invisible. There's a lot of other guys here that had receptions. The only other one I really want to talk about is Aaron Jones had 6 receptions for 37 yards. And then we should mention that Jamal Williams actually left the game with a really scary hit to the head. But it sounds like he's just got a concussion and he's in the protocol right now. So going forward, if Jamal Williams isn't in, I still think Aaron Jones auto start.
Yeah, that was a tough defense. They went against running defense. So I think he's auto start moving forward.
Definitely.
The next game. Oh my God. The one that this is going to determine whether we have 2 or 1 Gruden in the NFL.
That's what I hear.
Yeah, we got Washington versus the New York Giants. So, I mean, you got the brand new quarterback coming in to decide, if that coach is going to lose his job. Do you think that Washington will start Haskins?
Oof. No, I don't.
I don't think they will.
I don't think Case Keenum has been that bad.
No, I don't blame him at all for that team self-destruction. But
who are you starting on the side of Washington?
Washington? No.
Terry McLaurin?
I don't think I am this week. He hasn't practiced all week. He's been questionable. So they say he's trending towards playing. But in a couple leagues where I have him, I've gotten other players to start instead. I think if you do want to start Terry this week, the thing you need to do is you need to have a backup plan. So maybe that's a player that's playing a little bit later or whatever, but be ready and be prepared 30 minutes before the game to throw somebody else into your lineup. Don't just assume he's going to play because it is not a guarantee. Yeah, and most importantly, if you use the nickname Scary Terry, get more creative. That's horrible.
Also, that belongs to Terry Rozier, who plays for the Celtics, okay? Scary Terry's taken. I did hear a good one, though, of F1, like the F1 McLaren.
Yeah.
Because I like that one a lot. So
yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm partial to McLovin. Just it's similar, and I couldn't ever remember his name when he first started. So McLovin, it's a one name. That's all you need.
Sure. Let's see the Giants side of the ball. Just to mention, I'm okay with you starting Adrian Peterson or Chris Thompson this week.
I actually did start Adrian Peterson in one league where I had bye weeks and injuries, and I needed a running back.
Yeah, I think he'll do just fine. He's going to get the bulk of the carries, and I think he finds the end zone this week. So
yeah, don't start Wayne Gallman, even though this is probably the only game where he may be relevant.
I think 10, 12 team league, there are teams that it might be okay to start Wayne Gallman. If you went wide receiver heavy in the draft,
I think you could start Adrian Peterson instead, and I would rather start him than Wayne Gallman.
I guess it's situational. Uh, I don't want to be in the situation where I have to start Wayne Gallman, but
Neither do the Giants.
true that. Uh, I think if you have to, you're probably going to get an okay week out of him. I think upside, you're looking at 80 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
That's upside.
I think
So,
something that people aren't considering is Wayne Gallman may not be the only ball carrier in that backfield this week.
right.
Like people are like, oh, Saquon's out, Wayne Gallman's going to come in and have 100% of the carries. No,
Yeah.
they're gonna put other running backs back there because he is not Saquon.
Yeah. Wayne Gallman is not Austin Eckler. Okay. So, just know that. Just temper your expectations. Sterling Shepard, though, I actually like Sterling Shepard a lot this week.
Yeah,
I think
it's a great matchup too.
Yeah, if you needed to pick somebody up off waivers and start right away, Sterling Shepard's the guy of the week, in my opinion. Daniel Jones, I'm also okay with you starting Daniel Jones if you needed to in a deeper league, or if you're trying to get
just
cute
streaming.
with the stream. Yeah. All right, let's move on. Chiefs Lions. This should be an interesting game. Both teams undefeated.
Yeah, I'm okay with starting basically all of your Chiefs wide receivers again.
Yeah,
put them out there.
Yeah, I think Mecole Hardman is my favorite, but I'm okay with you starting all three as well. I just don't know. I don't know how to tell you guys, our management team, how to pick which one is the best. Hopefully you don't own more than one and you don't have to make the choice.
I personally like Robinson, and so, but I like, you like Mecole. I'm like, cool, high five. Let's I like
Mecole.
meet up in the end zone.
Yeah, no kidding. Catch it at the same time. Pat Mahomes, great start. Don't worry about it. Then we already talked about the running backs. I mean, LaShawn McCoy, probably. Lions side of the ball, I like Kerryon a lot this week. The Chiefs do not win games based on their defense, so I actually like a lot of Lions players this week.
Yeah.
Matty snapback. Matthew Stafford might miss this game.
Yeah, I saw that. He's questionable.
Yeah, so I would... Okay, I'm going to retract my previous statement. If Matthew Stafford is starting, I'm okay with you starting a lot of these Lions wide receivers. If he is not starting, I think only Marvin Jones.
Yeah,
that's how I feel.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I don't even know about Marvin Jones if he's not starting.
Yeah, it just depends
in a deeper
on
league, and depending on your situation. But that's one where if you got solid options anywhere else or someone you know is going to get the ball, go with them.
Yeah, definitely. And the Lions are undefeated. They are 2-0-1. All right, let's jump into the Falcons and Titans. Let's see, start on the Titans side of the ball here. Marcus Mariota, just no need to start Marcus Mariota.
Okay, I thought you were saying you like Marcus Mariota. No. I got upset for a second.
No, don't start Marcus Mariota. Go start Daniel Jones instead. But I do like Derrick Henry this week a lot. I think Derrick Henry is probably top 10 running back this week pretty easily. I'm not starting any wide receiver though for Tennessee.
No.
Not even AJ Brown. On the Falcons side of the ball, I like them all. I don't think Calvin Ridley, start him. Julio's obvious. So Matt Ryan.
I disagree with you on this. I think Julio, you start him. Hooper, I'm starting, but Ridley, I'm not. And that's just because the Titans, I think they have a pretty good defense. So I'm worried about Ridley. Julio, he's going to perform no matter what. He is Julio.
That's fair.
And then also I worry about Freeman here.
It's true. That's true.
So, I want to see if Ito's back in there ready to go for that game. He should be.
It says he's still questionable with the concussion. So
yeah. But I think Freeman actually needs Ito for this game to be successful.
It's an interesting take. You've got me thinking. Yeah, I guess that is situation dependent. depth of league dependent sort of thing. But
Yeah, I don't think Freeman's going to be a top 10 running back this week.
okay,
I think he like I'm not going to be scared of starting him in future weeks. He's going to do great, but the Titans do have a sneaky good defense. I've said that a couple times, and I believe it. That's their defense scares me a little bit.
okay. Let's jump into the Browns Ravens. I think
Oh man,
that
I love this matchup just because it's like the team with the most hype that's doing poorly against the team with the least hype that's doing great.
yeah, this is funny. I think this is going to be a game where the Ravens assert their dominance. I don't like the Browns to win this game, but that doesn't mean I'm not starting Browns players. I'm definitely still starting Nick Chubb. I'm definitely still starting Odell Beckham Jr., even Jarvis Landry in a deeper league, right? I feel like if you're in a 10, 12 team PPR league, Jarvis Landry is still a great start. No reason to avoid it. Baker Mayfield. I don't know.
I'm not
I
starting
don't
Baker
think so.
Mayfield. No.
I don't think so. And this is a situation where you need to. I think this is a point, right? We're in week 4. It's time to just take your licks, right? You spent a really high draft pick on Baker Mayfield. It's not working out. You better just drop him and go get somebody that is working out.
Yeah, I know it's hard for some people. They don't want to drop someone they put such a high pick into, but you don't want that high pick to continue cause you losses through the fantasy season because that's what actually matters. So don't worry about that investment you put into him. Go get your wins.
Yeah, definitely. Ravens side of the ball, love Lamar Jackson. Just keep putting Lamar Jackson in his auto start.
I said this, I think last week, that people are saying to drop him or trade him after last week's game so you could trade him at a high value. No, he's going to perform. You keep him.
Yeah, unless like for some reason you got Lamar Jackson off waivers and held on to somebody like Matt Ryan. All right, I'm just throwing that name out there. If that's the case and somebody's offering you a starter, like a startable player, wide receiver or running back for Lamar Jackson, I'd consider that kind of trade. But I mean, that's a pretty niche situation.
It's going to have to be a pretty good pick or a pretty good player.
Yeah. I really like Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown. Just start him. No big deal. Yeah, he's an auto start at this point for me. Mark Andrews, it looks like he's going to play. He practiced today. Go ahead and start Mark Andrews. I like all Ravens players here, all relevant Ravens players.
Yeah, even Ingram.
I love Ingram.
Yeah, look at him having the season or a career season there.
Yeah. Colts Raiders. Man, two surprising teams, right? I think the Raiders were performing better than expected. I think a lot of people thought they were
especially once they lost Antonio Brown.
Right. I don't think they're going to go win the division or anything like that. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, they're not with the Chiefs and the Chargers there. But are you starting Derek Carr? Better options, probably. Jacoby Brissett is probably a better option
that's
on the other side.
Exactly. In a deep league, if like a lot of players are taken, that's one that I wouldn't shy away from too much, though, Carr.
Sure.
If it's a deep league and I need a start for this week, like let's say my quarterback's on a bye week this week, then maybe. Yeah. But it's also not one where I'm excited.
Yeah. Darren Waller, Josh Jacobs, start him. Happy about that. Colts side of the ball, I like Jacoby Brissett.
Yep.
I like him on this matchup.
That's one where I'm excited.
Yeah, excited to start him. We already spoke about T.Y. Hilton. Yeah. I don't think it's worth the risk. I don't think you want to start T.Y. Hilton, and I don't really know which wide receiver I would recommend.
I wouldn't.
So exactly, I think that you just avoid the wide receivers here, but I do like Marlon Mack a lot.
Yeah.
So. Would you consider throwing in one of these tight ends, considering that T.Y.'s out?
No.
You wouldn't. You don't think Ebron's going to find that? I think Ebron's going to find the end zone.
Yeah, I'm not putting either one of them in because I don't know. I don't feel confident enough that on which one will find the end zone.
Okay. Let me throw you in a situation here. Hypothetical. You have Vance McDonald. You lost Vance McDonald. You want a spot start. I think Eric Ebron is the guy that would get a touchdown if there was a touchdown to be had.
Yeah, I mean, I could see an argument for that, but I don't know. I might go pick up like even like a Vernon Davis or someone.
Yeah, I guess it just depends on who's available, but there's an option. We're just throwing out options here. So let's move on to the Bills Patriots. Um, now the Patriots obviously are the favorites in this game, uh, but I'm not going to completely throw the Bills under the bus, right? This isn't going to be a Dolphins Patriots matchup again, right? I think the Patriots will win this, but I don't think it's going to be as handedly as everybody's kind of thinking at first glance. The Bills have a very solid defense, and they can put up points fast. So let's see. Patriots side of the ball, I think Tom Brady's back to an elite fantasy quarterback, right?
Yeah,
You auto start Tom Brady again. Uh, He's
Josh Gordon, you're starting
yeah,
him.
yeah.
Edelman,
I'm gonna start Edelman if he's playing. It's one
yeah,
of those things you have to monitor. It's still a morning game, so you have options. I'm starting Edelman if he's playing.
I agree with you.
I I'm not starting a New England running back.
That was my next question. No
Not.
Sony Michelle.
No, I am not starting a New
Okay.
England running back.
What about on the Bills side? Which are you starting our Bills running back?
No,
Yeah,
no,
me
no,
neither.
because Devin Singletary, we're not even sure if he's going to play.
Yeah, Frank
Still dealing with that
Gore.
hamstring.
He's still 800 years old. And I know he was my start of the week last week, but they weren't playing the Patriots defense last week.
Right. Patriots are very good defensively this year.
Yeah.
I'm
They
I'm not
haven't
going to
given
start a
up
running
an
back.
offensive touchdown yet.
Yeah, I'm not going to start a Bills running back, but I am starting John Brown.
Yeah,
So
John Brown's the one exception on this team that I'm okay with starting.
cool. Let's move on. We're moving through nice and quickly. Panthers Texans. Interesting game. Are you excited about any of the Panthers wide receivers?
Oh, I know. I
Even
just
with
don't.
that week that Kyle Allen had last week?
Yeah, that's so excited. I'm not excited about any specific one. That's the
Right.
problem. I like Kyle Allen. I like two of the Panthers wide receivers.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure which one I meant. Like which one's the one? You know, every girl's problem.
I'm gonna say DJ Moore ends up being a startable player by the end of the week.
Oh
If you
man.
start him, I think you'll end up
See,
okay, but it
I
is scary.
I like
Like
DJ Moore.
Samuel.
Well, I
Oh,
like DJ Moore, but I think Samuel's gonna end up being the guy there.
there you go, guys. Tons of clear, concise fantasy analysis for you to follow.
Yeah, I'm personally, if I had to choose one, I'm starting Samuel.
Okay, I'm starting more. There you go. All the help you guys need. Uh,
Choose your favorite guys. Who you
yeah,
like more?
start
Make a
Christian
decision.
McCaffrey. Start Christian McCaffrey, of course. Don't ask stupid questions. Let's move up on to the Texans here. You're starting Deshaun Watson, of course. He's my number two
Are you starting
quarterback.
Carlos Hyde?
Yes, I am starting Carlos Hyde.
Yeah,
Uh, Duke Johnson, nope, not
no,
starting Duke Johnson. I'd rather start, I don't know, Chris Thompson.
tons of people.
Yeah, Chris Thompson's a perfect example of the same type of player that's going to do better. I'm definitely starting Carlos Hyde, though. I think I'm very comfortable with that decision.
Yeah,
Um, Go ahead.
wide receiver wise, I'm only cool with Hopkins. The rest
Yeah,
of them, they've died to me.
it's rough, man. I'm not starting them,
I
but
didn't do that to them. They did
they're
that to them.
they're still alive to me. They're still living human beings. Let's jump into the Chargers Dolphins. Start your
You
Chargers,
just
sit your
gotta let go,
Dolphins.
Perry. Let go.
Yeah, so do the
Uh,
Dolphins. The Dolphins need to let go and die as well.
yeah, I let
Uh,
go of them a long time ago. I forgot they were even on here.
yeah. Do
Uh,
not touch a dolphin. I'm not going to cover that anymore.
yeah,
The Chargers, I
in
like.
fantasy or real life, just don't touch them. They rape people.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Wow.
they're Antonio Browns.
Wow. Uh, Justin on painkillers, everyone. Chargers, I like Philip Rivers a lot. I like Keenan Allen even more, and I love Austin Eckler the best. So actually, I like I like Keenan Allen the best. Whatever, doesn't matter. Start all three of them, no doubt about it. Start their defense, please. I know you picked them up in a league. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
You
Two
should have a
leagues.
nice week. Yeah, you should have a nice week. Bucks Rams. I think this is my ironclad. Definitely do it. Start everybody. It's definitely going to work out. Unless it doesn't, quote me if it does. Start everyone in this game.
I'll make sure and hashtag that.
Yeah, start them all. As to which Rams receiver is going to have the best week, my vote's Cooper Kupp.
Welcome.
But if Robert Woods comes out and has 2 touchdowns, I mean, am I going to be surprised?
Perry, you're gonna have to choose a different wide receiver because this bandwagon is full.
He's on my team though.
I know.
You didn't even draft him.
I know. I was
even Todd Gurley.
Roster construction problems.
Yeah, okay. Even start Todd Gurley. I don't think you're going to get a huge week out of Todd Gurley, but I think you'll get a serviceable week out of him. The Buccaneers defense isn't very good. I think there's going to be a lot of points to be had in this game. Buccaneers side of the ball, Mike Evans, of course, start him. Chris Godwin, little scary as the Rams haven't given up over 100 yards to any receiver yet this season. But I still like Chris Godwin. I think he's talented. I think it's not just...
I'm starting him.
Yeah, I just start Chris Godwin. I like him.
He's good. I think that the Rams are going to double team Evans, which should free up Chris Godwin, especially after the week Evans just had.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Seahawks Cardinals.
Yes.
I'm starting Chris Carson. I know he's had the fumbling problem. I'm giving him. I'm still starting him. If he has a.
Rashad Penny's not practicing either, so.
So Rashad Penny was at practice today.
Was he? Okay, great.
Yeah, so they said he may return. He's still questionable, but don't worry about Chris Carson right now. If he loses another fumble, then maybe don't start him next week. We'll see. We'll cover that next week though. So start him this week.
Start both receivers from Seattle.
Yeah. My start of the week, Perry, was actually going to be DK Metcalf. I think he's going to be sneaky good this week against that Cardinals defense.
That's funny because my start of the week this week is Larry Fitzgerald.
Nice.
So that's cool. We'll have a good matchup there.
Right? That's so expect both them to have 8 touch. No, I'm joking. But I expect him to have a big game. I'd say probably 60, 70 yards and 1, maybe even 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think 60 to 70 yards and a touchdown is definitely within his wheelhouse this week. I agree. And kind of the same stat line with Larry Fitzgerald too, as well.
I think it'll be done in very different ways between the two of them.
For sure. Yeah. I like Russell Wilson. I think he's a fine start this week. Kyler Murray, I think you probably have better options. We just haven't seen it yet from Kyler. But if maybe this is the week, right? So
start.
Do you want to take
Johnson.
a risk? Yeah, start David Johnson. Yeah, absolutely. Vikings Bears. Oh boy, this is gonna be a low scoring game.
You know who this is going to benefit though?
Dalvin Cook and Alexander Madison.
Yeah, the two of them are going to run just up and down the field. They may not score a lot of touchdowns.
You think against these Bears defense?
Yeah, I think they're going to. I think they're going to do a lot of dump off passes to them, a lot of draws and things like that to slow down that Bears defense on their pressure.
I guess I'm not as bullish as you. I'm a little scared of this Bears defense.
Oh, it's a great defense. I don't see a lot of touchdowns scored.
I think you're definitely starting Dalvin Cook. I don't think you can start Alexander Madison as a flex.
No, I'm not ready to start him, but I've picked him up in several leagues.
Sure. What's interesting is that Adam Thielen is terrible against the Bears. But Stephon Diggs has played 7 games against the Bears and has 7 touchdowns.
So you're saying start Stephon Diggs. You heard it here first, folks.
I'm saying maybe, you know, it's something to
Lock of the
consider.
week.
It's something to consider. I
No,
honestly, I
I
don't like either of them all that much this week.
so I always hate those type of comparisons though, where it's like this guy is historically good against this team, because the team is different every year.
Well, I don't
So
think the defensive backs have changed for the Bears.
yeah, but a lot of the team has, and also for the like, look at the Vikings team this year compared to last year, like the how much they throw the ball and stuff. So I mean, I'm not saying that's like saying that Diggs is gonna do or Thielen's gonna do good. I'm just
Sure.
saying that that doesn't mean that Stephon Diggs is gonna do good.
Yeah. I mean, bottom line, I think if you have a better option, you should probably sit Diggs.
Yeah,
The-
that's a tough defense.
Thielen, oof,
I'm if I have better options, I'm sitting both of them. If I
yeah,
need to play one of them, I'm still more comfortable playing Thielen than Diggs.
you're probably right. You're probably right. I would start our two starts of the week over Adam Thielen, just
Absolutely.
to give you an idea. The Bears side of the ball, Montgomery,
I'm fine with
yeah,
Montgomery.
probably. I'm not
Uh,
starting Trubisky, and the only wide receiver I'm starting is Allen Robinson.
yeah, and Allen Robinson, I'm not gonna. I don't think he's gonna be a top 10 wide receiver this week or a
No, I
top
don't. I
12.
don't
I
either.
don't think he'll be a wide receiver one for you. So just temper those expectations. I think he'll be a solid wide receiver two for you, though.
Yeah, I agree. Um, let's jump into the Jags and Broncos. Jaguars, you know, the Broncos, I saw an interesting stat today. Of the first three games, the Broncos have 0 sacks and 0 turnovers.
Yeah,
And they're the first team since the merger to go the first three games without a sack or a turnover.
that's wild. With
It's
Von Miller
crazy.
on their team.
With Von Miller and with Bradley Chubb.
Yeah,
That's insane. That's crazy. I don't think that continues this week. I think that they rack up at least 2 sacks this week.
nice.
Um, but I'm still thinking that Beowulf Minshew deep league start, 2 quarterback league start.
Yeah,
It's okay.
uh, I'm fine with starting him. Like even in if you start him in a flex spot or not flex spot, sorry, if you're starting him in like a stream or you do have a super flex, then yeah,
Yeah.
go for it. But like if you need a stream, I'm okay with it. I think there are probably better options out there. But I mean, his name is Beowulf. Go ahead and let him go out there and slay some monsters.
Leonard Fournette is a great start this week for me. I like Leonard Fournette a lot. I like Leonard Fournette every week, not because you're going to get a, you know, 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. You're never going to get that out of Leonard Fournette just because his inefficiencies, right?
Yeah,
And that's the team's inefficiencies as well. I don't want to put that all on Leonard
yeah.
Fournette.
Leonard Fournette will demolish a building by running into the wall enough times.
Yeah. So start Leonard Fournette. I'm not going to start a wide receiver, though, on the Jags. Not yet. I don't know which one I want yet. On the Broncos side of the ball, Philip Lindsay. Yeah, start Philip Lindsay. I like Philip Lindsay this week. Almost my start of the week. Um, Wide receiver wise, probably Emmanuel Sanders. That's it.
Yeah, yeah, I'm cool with them.
Cool. Cowboys Saints. This should be a pretty good game, I think. Uh, would have been better if Drew Brees was playing, but he's not.
Right? That would have been a great game.
Yeah,
I would say if he were playing, this would have been my game of the week.
yeah, I
Uh,
agree.
I still think it'll be a close game, competitive, but I mean I think Cowboys are winning this game.
Yeah, I think so as well.
But
Start your
obviously you're
Cowboys, of course,
starting
right?
both the running backs on both teams.
Yeah,
No question. Any week they're playing and they're healthy, you start them.
yeah. Starting Dak, starting Amari, starting Michael Thomas.
Yep.
Yeah,
And yeah, I'm cool with that. You
that's
starting
clean.
Jason Witten?
Actually, I am starting Jason Witten in a league.
Oh, nice.
I
Yeah.
am starting Jason Witten in the league. I think Jason Witten, when I look at like bye weeks and stuff for tight ends, and if I got to go pick somebody up, I'm looking for the guy that's going to get 5 receptions for 50 yards, right? It's like, hey, if I can live with that. It's a half point PPR league. I'll take that as a bye week tight end. Jason Witten is that guy with a touchdown possibility. So
Yep.
I'll
Yeah.
take Jason Witten in a 1 week start. That's okay with me.
And
Uh,
just to take it back a little bit, I feel the same way about Greg Olson too.
no, I think Greg Olson is an auto start at this point.
Yeah, I don't know with the new quarterback play. I feel like same way as I do with the wide receivers there. I just don't know if.
With the new quarterback last week, he was a number 1 tight end, was he not?
Yeah, but I mean, it's still a new quarterback. You don't know how it may vary from week to week.
I think if
Like
I'm
you don't have a huge sample size to be like, yeah, he's going. You literally have one game compared to like Cam Newton, where you have like 6 seasons.
I think sometimes in fantasy football, I can get wrapped up in trying to understand the situation and looking at it from 4 different ways and talking myself out of 4 different things.
I
I'm gonna
do
look
that.
up I'm gonna look at what has he done for me this season, and he's been
What
amazing.
has he done for me lately?
And he's been amazing.
Yeah.
Therefore, I'm starting him until further
But
notice.
yeah,
So,
like I said, I'm fine with starting him. I
yeah,
think
for
that
sure.
I put him in the. For me, he's a good spot start.
Cool. Bengals Steelers last game Monday Night Football.
Oh, what a barn burner we got here.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Whew.
Bengals. I don't. Okay. You know what? Do we start Joe Mixon now? Are we okay with Joe Mixon? Is he
I mean,
fantasy acceptable?
It really depends for me on who else I have on my team. Like he's not my number one choice,
Yeah.
but I'm okay with starting him. Just don't expect him to like don't expect a barn burner. That's not what you're getting here.
Yeah. I think you're starting Joe Mixon in this game. I think if you have Joe Mixon, you're starting him right. Obviously, as probably a flex at the worst, as
Oh.
or as the best, right?
Now I
RB2
feel
at the
like
worst.
this is the exact opposite situation of the last game. Yeah, you start both the running backs in the last game. In this one, you got Joe Mixon and Connor. Like both been
Well,
super disappointing.
I think you have to start them both, though. I don't know how I can tell people to not start. Well, at least Connor. I
Start
don't know.
Connor?
I don't know how, if I could tell people to not start Connor.
Yeah. I think
But it's
this
getting close. We're
I
having this discussion, which is
yeah, I think this game is better for Connor than it is for Mixon.
yeah.
Just because the Bengals defense has been horrible against running backs. So
I will
uh
say
yeah, I'm
Mixon
gonna start Connor. What were you
Mixon
saying?
had a Mixon had a pretty good stat line last week against the Bills. Therefore, I mean against the Steelers. I just like we talked about. I'm not going to overthink it. If I have Connor, I'm starting Connor.
Yeah, Mixon.
But or Mixon, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mixon.
Yeah, and Connor, like I said, I'm starting him just due to the fact that the Bengals defense is horrible. But like you
Yeah,
said, that's the fact that we're having this conversation tells you a lot about those running backs this season.
yeah. Starting Juju. Starting Tyler Boyd.
Yep.
Starting John Ross probably.
I'm not starting John Ross.
Okay. Starting Boyd though for sure, and then AJ Green should be back here. I would expect in a couple weeks, so just
Yeah.
keep an eye on that situation.
Yeah, I hope
And
John Ross has a big game because I have him in a league and I want to trade him.
fair enough. Okay, and that wraps up the week for us, Justin.
Yeah, that's I'm excited. Something that I wanted to bring up for everyone out there is in our future Friday episodes, we're going to start bringing on some guests with us.
Yeah,
So we'll all have a beer together, make a nice little fun thing, and we're going to change up our game script a little bit on how we go through the week. So
yeah,
try and make it a little bit more exciting for you guys too.
yeah. Next week our guest is our good friend Darian, my roommate in college. He loves football. Great guy, a lot of fun. It'll be fun to chat with him about his perspective on some players.
Yeah, he worked on a NASA space probe, I believe, or
He
something with
he
it.
works for the Mars rover team.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it's pretty
he,
awesome.
he's a planetary geologist. I don't know how that equates to football, but it's a really cool title.
Not very well because he did get last year in our league.
And he's not looking good so far this year, but that's okay.
Yeah, he's a smart guy when it comes to football. There's a curse going on in our league where every year when someone first joins, they get last every year.
Yeah, except he's been in the league for a couple of years now. Darian, you
Oh.
need to listen to the show more. All right, buddy? You need some help. All right. On that note, we'll talk to you guys on our Tuesday episode. Everybody have a wonderful, safe weekend and enjoy the shows. Enjoy the games.
Yeah, games.
Shows.